What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about ticker SMCE. So this one kind of piqued my interest. I want to go over what this company is all about, some of the recent PR, and why you need to add it to your watch list. So I'm going to go over all that, but first make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, it is a relatively low market cap stock. So it does show 8.79 million for the market cap. So take that into consideration. At the time of doing this video, which was, or I guess is July the 17th, it did go down 3.08%, which isn't all that bad because if you think bigger picture over the last 1 year, it is up 384%. And just in the last 6 months alone, it is up 800%. So just based on that momentum, definitely need to add that to your watch list. And it's not just small chump change for volume, because looking over here, you do see more so on the low end, maybe around 7 million, high end in excess of 50 million. So this does meet my criteria. As I've kind of indicated in previous videos, I always like to look at stocks that is over 0.001 and at least more than 10 million in volume. So this is how this stock did fall under my radar, but after doing some kind of looking at the recent news and stuff like that, I was somewhat impressed. So I want to go over some of that. Starting off with this. So this is what they currently do based on the company profile. Looks like it was founded in '98, asset management and custody banks based out of Florida. It does have a functioning website. I know that kind of sounds stupid, but for OTC stocks, that's one of the things that I generally do like. It also does have, it looks like for socials, only X or Twitter, not that much for followers though, so only 371. I will make that 372, but still, regardless, kind of on the low end. It looks like they're a little bit more active as of late, but still something to kind of keep in mind. It does actually have a very functioning website though, so it has all the executives. I'm not necessarily going to go over that in this video, but make sure you guys pop over to their website and do your own due diligence. One thing that you always need to check for OTC stocks, and that is this right here, to ensure that they're pink current, they're not CE tagged or whatever else. So this is fairly good, shows that they're up to kind of par with their financials. And based on this, so again, I kind of just looked at their recent news, was very impressed by it, but even looking at their financials, they are profitable for whatever, like it's crazy. So as of March 2024, they are profitable. It looks like on and off, so not consistent, but still, based on that last earnings, very impressive. Doesn't show any cash and cash equivalents though. So this is where I guess I essentially had some questions, because it doesn't show any cash and cash equivalents, but based on the last news that did come out, which conveniently was on the 16th, this is very good news on a side note, but it kind of made me question one thing. So it says SMC announces corporate update for June and July 2024. And so in here, it goes over everything that they have done, which is very impressive. So it says that we have successfully hit several milestones, starting with reducing debt and the shares outstanding. We've increased insider ownership, completed the SEC form for our Form 10, engaged new auditors, applied for a name and symbol change, hired a institutional advisor. Like, they've done so goddamn much. Again, aside from this recent news, you guys kind of do your own due diligence and read into it. I'm not really sure exactly what they are looking to change their name to or ticker to, but for all extensive purposes, this did pique my interest, like I've already said, because of this, or debt reduction. It looks like they did retire roughly around $879,000 in combined debt. And so that looks like it was done on July the 10th as well as June the 14th. So this is where I had the question where they came up with this money. I don't believe they had a 8K that broke this down, because they do have an 8K that came out conveniently right here. So that was today, but that didn't actually indicate how they paid for this. But nonetheless, that's one thing that you can always do your own due diligence on. I don't think that they would blatantly lie based on this. And as far as I'm aware, there was no like toxic notes or anything like that, convertible stuff. So yeah, it looks like they did, from what I read here, it says that they did reduce the shares outstanding. So they bought back some shares. They don't actually use that terminology, but that's what this kind of does mean right here. So not only did they reduce debt, lowered their outstanding share count, which is generally very, very good, But it says right here, this one caught my interest. Some companies have said this in the past, but have not followed through. So it says, as part of our debt reduction activities, officers and management elected to convert $218,000 of their accrued and owed earnings into restricted shares issued and in accordance with Rule 144. That is huge. That is fucking huge. Pardon my French. But this is amazing stuff. If this stock was on, for instance, New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ, and they came out with this news, that stock instantly would go up like tenfold just based on that. That is huge, huge stuff. So again, take that into consideration. And I don't know if, again, this company has any kind of wantingness to go to NASDAQ, or maybe that is part of their news if they're doing like a spin-off or name change to kind of uplist possibly. I don't believe it actually states in here, but it says that they did enter into a partnership with PCG Advisory. That's was announced on June the 5th. So maybe that's what that 8K was associated to. And then it says new investment agreement with Proactive Capital Partners, LP. That's again on July the 5th. So this company is doing quite a lot. And so it looks like here they entered into an agreement with Proactive Capital in the form of $35,000 convertible note with a fixed conversion price of 0.002 per share and a term of 12 months. So this one, I'm not that big of a fan of. Of course, OTC, you typically do have a lot of trouble with capital and raising capital. This is one good way to do that. This right here, so typically that 35,000, there is a discount usually that is given, but that convertible note with a fixed conversion price, I believe that is only, at least typically, on the principal. The interest, that's where it kind of killed a lot of companies, because in my opinion, at least based on my history, that typically does damage the stock, because the lower the price, the more the conversions. So I think when it says fixed conversion price, that's only on the principal again. So something, again, to do your own due diligence. So I don't know if there is an 8K that does match this, or like an agreement. Clearly, the next earnings that they do submit will encumber that. Actually, my apologies, it won't actually, because that'll be up until essentially the end of June. So that won't encumber July. So that'll be the following earnings. And then it goes over June updates. But regardless, this right here did pique my interest. This is definitely very, very good. This one is kind of hit and miss. Regardless though, I think that based on everything and just the stock performance of this company, you need to add this to your watch list, like hands down. So let me know your thoughts on this company. Do you know much? Have you been investing in it? Are you like, what's your viewpoint on all of this? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.